Hi everyone, good evening.
Hi everyone, good evening.
Hi Sudipta, hi Lalita.
So we are going to start the session now. I'll share the screen. Before that, we are Naga and Sirisha, and we have decided to uh, have this awareness session because of this diabetes week. So let me share the screen. So if you really see the numbers, almost 10% of the adult population is suffering from this diabetes, and even in India, 10% of the population, like, that is 10 crore people are suffering from this diabetes. And if you see, I mean, around 1.6 million people are dying because of this diabetes. So out of all these 10% of the population, like 440 million people are suffering this diabetes, and 50% of them don't even know that they have a diabetes or they have a pre-diabetes because they have never been tested. So I hope this awareness session will create some input for them to get them tested. So what are the symptoms of the diabetes? So if you really see the symptoms, um, they feel always, hungry, and they always feel thirsty, and they go for so many times urination, and even in the night time, they go for 2-3 times urination. So they just become like babies. If it is babies, if they are hungry frequently, if they are thirsty frequently, if they are going for urination frequently, we are okay with that. We take care of them very well. If the adults are going for that, and if the elderly people are going for that, they become like sugar babies, and no one feels like taking care of them, and that becomes a different problem altogether. And even people gain a lot of weight, and unexpected weight loss happens, increased blood pressure. So all these are the symptoms of the diabetes. Even um, some numbness comes in the hands and feet, tingling sensation, even burning sensation. They feel dizziness, and even they feel they will have a lot of blood sugar, and some people have even some people even face difficulty in vision also. And because of this high sugar in the sweat, it may lead to some skin allergies also, like candida in thighs. So these are the symptoms of the diabetes. So how to know whether a person has diabetes? If they have symptoms, they can go for diagnosis. And if you go from top to bottom, there is something called as HbA1c test. If it shows, it is like 3 months average of the blood sugar. If it is below 5.7, they don't have any issues. And similarly, if they have fasting blood sugar of 99 gram or below, no issues. And after eating, if their blood sugar is below 140 milligram per deciliter, even that is also fine. But if the HbA1c is going beyond 5.7 until 6.4, it is called as pre-diabetes. And if the fasting sugar is in between 100 to 125, it is pre-diabetes. And after eating, if the sugar levels are 140 to 199, it is considered as pre-diabetes. So then what is diabetes? If the HbA1c is greater than 6.5 or 6.5, and fasting sugars are greater than 126, and if the glucose levels after eating, if they are above 200 or 200 or 200 more, then it is called as diabetes. So what are the causes of the type 2 diabetes? If you really see what are the causes, let me start with this genetic disposition. What is then this genetic disposition, predisposition? If one of the parents, like mother, has a diabetes, there are 30% chances that the child also gets the diabetes, or the kid also, the or even if the father has also has diabetes, it increases the susceptibility to 60%. That means there are 60% chances that their children also gets the diabetes. So if there is a predisposition, let's say, both the parents have diabetes. In that case, 60% they have chances of getting diabetes. That is like a loaded gun. So loaded gun means they already have this, chances of diabetes. Let us suppose they also the children also has the obesity. So this obesity becomes a trigger that increases again 30 more percent of getting a diabetes, and they get the diabetes. Similarly, if they have a stress, the stress also becomes a trigger for that loaded gun, and it automatically gets the diabetes for the people. And there is a issue with the medicine also. Some people, if they are taking steroids, you might have seen in corona times, when they are hospitalized because of the heavy steroids given, many people got this diabetes, and they were given even insulin also. And there are some statin drugs, if they are taken in the long term. The statin drugs are mainly taken for reducing your cholesterol levels. And there are some type of hypertensive, some type of medicine which are given for high BP also. That also, in the long term, can cause diabetes. And diuretics, some of the diuretics also cause the diabetes. And unhealthy food. Nowadays, we see we eat a lot of ice cream, chocolates, a lot of bakery food, maida items. So that is also causing, indirectly, it is causing diabetes through insulin resistance. And sedentary lifestyle. Sedentary lifestyle means most of the sitting jobs come in sedentary life. Like, it could be IT job, it could be a chartered accountant job, or it could be any clerical job. Nowadays, all jobs are sitting jobs, right? So this sedentary life also becomes one of the reason for diabetes. And coming to age, as the people age, the pancreas and all the organs start, they will be deteriorating little bit, and that also cause insulin resistance, and which in turn cause diabetes. And high blood pressure. So people who have the high blood pressure, they also tend to get more diabetes. So these are like, uh, see, all these are combinations. There is no single reason. It could be only because of the diabetes, or it could be because of the combination of all these 9 items, or it could be a combination of 3 items that is causing the diabetes. So that is the reason we always advise people who are overweight, who can become obese, and who can become in turn who can get this diabetes. So, and when it comes to stress, stress could be because of the different reasons. It could be, I mean, when people come for health consultations for us, I ask them, I take the history of them, and when I ask the history, they if they get the diabetes even before 5 years also, when I ask them, they will be able to relate what is the stressful event in that period, 5 years before. Some people will say they have a job challenge, like, in job, they have a bad boss, and since 6 months they have been struggling, and they might have a relationship struggle in those 6 months. So, or they might have a lot, they might have lost their loved ones in their family. So it could be financial reasons. Someone said he bought a land for some with the debt, and he was not able to clear that debt. It is in multiple lakhs. So that could be the reason for stressful diabetes. And coming to, I mean, how to test this? How do you know? I mean, let's suppose if any of your parents are having diabetes, how to test this even before it comes to you? So there is something called as 2-hour test. So 75 grams of sugar is given in 250 ml of water, and blood sugars are taken before this and after 2 hours. So as we have given in the ranges, as we have set the ranges before, if it is falling in those ranges, we can say this person is prone to diabetes. And similarly for children also, they are given for each kg of body weight, 1.75 grams of sugar is given in the water, and they were tested. They will be tested for sugar levels before and after 2 hours. And similarly, for pregnant ladies, they will be given 100 grams of sugar, and they will be tested for first hour, second hour, and third hour, and before that also. So these are the ways to know. These are called oral glucose tolerance tests. So anywhere, any diagnostic centers, it is available. And what are the complications of this diabetes? So you might be thinking diabetes is just a small thing. I mean, just it's small. It is just one disease. No, it is not just one disease. So it affects all your organs. Let us suppose there is a water tank in your home or in your society, and it got contaminated. So when it is traveling, it affects all the family members in the home, or it affects all the houses in that society, right? In the same way, diabetes also, it is not related to one single organ. Diabetes is like more like, because it is in the blood, it affects all the organs. So if you see diabetic retinopathy means high blood, because of the high blood sugar, the blood vessels in the eyes may get blocked, or even they may cause to burst the blood vessels, so which will cause a lot of blood passes, and that creates that is called as diabetes retinopathy. And it may cause cataract also. Cataract means eye lenses will be blurred, and there will be small white substance that is forming, that is called cataract. And glaucoma is there will be optic nerve connecting the nerve and the brain that gets overpressured, and that leads to blindness. So this is also because of the diabetes. And periodontal diseases. There will be gum diseases, and because of these gum diseases, you will get this. There will be white substances forming around the gums and bones, and which will automatically cause this removal of this mm, dentals. And also there is peripheral vascular disease. Peripheral vascular disease is what are the peripheral nerves? Peripheral nerves are nerves that are in hands and in the legs are called peripheral nerves. So peripheral vascular means peripheral blood vessel disease. So whenever there is a high blood sugars, these will automatically cause a plaque in the blood vessels. And whenever there is a plaque in the blood vessel, it will hinder the blood flow to the legs. So there are neurons also in the blood, in the legs. So when there is low supply to the blood vessels in the legs, that will automatically cause some kind of foot damage. It will cause foot damage, or sometimes it will cause diabetic neuropathy. Diabetic neuropathy means because there is a because of the low flow of the blood through neurons. These neurons in the legs, they will be lacking the supply of the blood, so there is no oxygen flowing through the legs, and there is no nutrients flowing through the legs. So they become like, if you see a tree, if the certain branch is not getting proper nutrients, that branch gets dry, and eventually you have to cut down. So same way it happens for the legs also. Leg amputation will happen because of this diabetic neuropathy and diabetic nephropathy. Similarly, whenever there is a high blood sugars, what is the functioning of the kidney? Kidney, it cleans the blood in the body. So whenever this nephropathy is there, the blood vessels in the kidneys also get affected. They also get blocked, or the kidneys get spoiled. So to know this, there is something called as albumin test. So they test the albumin. Even creatinine tests are done. Usual creatinine test, the normal readings are 1.4. But whenever people have this kidney problems, that reading will increase to 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then they get into dialysis, wherein to purify the blood, they will have to go through the process once in a week, or twice or thrice in a week. So eventually, that is not the permanent solution. They may have to, go for the kidney replacement. So these are the complications. And cardiovascular disease. What are the cardiovascular disease? Like a blood vessel disease, some blockage can happen in the blood vessels, arteries, which will eventually cause the heart attack. So the complications. You have to go for stents, or you have to go for bypass surgery. and whenever people go for it, it will affect them for 3 to 6 months, and the family members are getting affected because of that. And if the same thing happens to the brain vessels, in the brain also there are some blood vessels. There are so many blood vessels, and the clot can happen, or like hemorrhage. Hemorrhage means the blood vessels can burst out, and it will lead to strokes. And in stroke case, 50% of the people are, bedridden, and after 5 years, they tend to even die because of the strokes. And cerebrovascular disease. Cerebrovascular disease, because of this, they will get this paralysis, and they may get Alzheimer's and so many other diseases. And as you know, Alzheimer's. What is Alzheimer's? Um, because of the low blood supply to the neurons and a lot of glucose in the neurons, these neuron joints will get spoiled. And whenever the neuron joints get spoiled, neurons become dead because they are not connected to any synapses. So that is causing a lot of memory issues, and people cannot identify people, other family members also, and they have difficulty in speaking. They cannot identify a language. So all this is because of the diabetes. That's why it's called as type 3 diabetes. And gestational diabetes, Sirisha is going to cover this.
Yeah, gestational diabetes. What is gestational diabetes means? Developing a diabetic during the pregnancy means a woman never had a diabetes before their pregnancy. Suppose if she is a pregnant after second and third trimester, she got to know that she found her blood sugar levels are very high. So that means she is diagnosed with a gestational diabetes. So in this, according to US diabetic research, 10% of the people who don't have diabetes before their pregnancy, they are diagnosed with gestational diabetes. So this will happen mostly on second and third trimester of the pregnancy. Why it is happening? See, first I'll explain this diagram. This is a pregnant lady. This is the placenta. Here, because of women high blood glucose levels in the mother, that will cause to extra glucose to the baby. So that means the pancreas is producing a lot of insulin to the body. So that causes baby to put on extra weight. So this is how it will happen. So how mainly see Naga already explained, right, why normal people will get because of they develop insulin resistance in their body. So they diagnosed with diabetes. Even pregnant, especially we are going to talk about pregnant women. So in pregnant women's placenta is actually it's a barrier to carry the nutrients to the baby. So placenta is one of the organ. It will actually inner lining of the uterus. So it will transfer nutrients to the baby. So what is happening here? So when this placenta is also producing lot of hormones. Actually, when woman is pregnant, there is a lot of hormonal changes in their body, in her body. So even placenta is also itself producing lot of hormones. In that, few of the hormones is working as act as a insulin. That means that is unavailable. So the same situation called as insulin resistance, where insulin is not working. So that many of the women's because of higher blood sugar levels in the body, many of the women's diagnosed with this gestational diabetes. What are the signs and symptoms of gestational diabetes? There is few people they are facing a lot of thirsty, lot of hunger, frequent urination. But these are the common symptoms for even pregnant women, right? So the screening test and the blood sugar level test is very, very important at the time of doctor suggested. So they will do here you are able to see the readings also. If it is more than this, people will diagnose it with gestational diabetes.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Sirisha. So, what is the root cause of all these problems? The root cause is called as insulin resistance. What is the root cause for diabetes? It is insulin resistance. If you see in the first I have pointed, the guy is eating a lot of junk food, high carb diet, and this is causing a lot of glucose levels inside the body. So whenever there is a high glucose levels in the blood, pancreas produces a lot of insulin. So it is a good thing that is happening, because cells can absorb glucose only in the presence of insulin. So if insulin is not there, cells cannot absorb glucose and energy is not generated. But after some time, what happens? Because of lot of glucose levels, pancreas produces a lot of insulin. These cells develop certain kind of resistance to this insulin. So it is called as insulin resistance. So what exactly is insulin resistance? So let us suppose if you are at home, even if your child is making a small sound when you are sleeping, you get up. It is you are so sensitive. But if you are in train, even though there is lot of sound coming out, but you tend to sleep, peacefully there also. So what is the reason? That is, even though there is a lot of sounds, your body or your ears develop a lot of resistance for that. That's why you are able to sleep. In the same way, cells also develop a lot of resistance to insulin, and whenever there is a lot of resistance to the insulin, these insulin converts all this glucose into fat, whereas the the body cells are being starved. Their hunger and cravings are created, and there is a high glucose level, there is a high insulin level, and still the cells are starving. So what happens? Then again, you tend to eat more food. So this cycle is continuing, and this all is causing the rise in the blood glucose levels. So this is the root cause not only for diabetes. This is the root cause for even all the metabolic disorders like obesity, thyroid, PCOD, and so many other diseases. So let us suppose so this is the root cause we found, insulin resistance, but how to prevent this or how to handle this. So let's suppose if there is an infection, you have a fever, and physician sees the symptom as a fever, and the root cause is the infection. That's why he gives antibiotic. But what about in the case of diabetes? So what is the symptom for diabetes? There is a high blood glucose, sugar levels are high. So the root cause is insulin resistance. But like we are handling the fever as a symptom, and with the antibiotic here, if we are giving metformin to cure that symptom, what about the root cause? Root cause is as it is there. Root cause is not handled. So I will explain you in a simple way. Suppose if there is a if there is a lot of leakage in your home, there is a tap, and there is a leakage in the tap. What you can do, if you are handling the symptom, you take a mop, you take a cloth, and every 3 hours, every 4 hours, you keep cleaning it. You keep cleaning the floor, and just squeeze the cloth in a bucket. So this is how you are going to handle the symptom. That's why you keep on taking metformin or insulin 3 times a day, 2 times a day. But how to treat this at the root cause level? What we can do, we can seal the leakage of the tap. Wherever the pipe is leaked, we can seal it. That's when you are reversing that problem. So in same way here also, we can reverse this insulin resistance through certain changes in your lifestyles. So how to do that? See, there are diagnostic facilities, and once in a year, once in 6 months, go for HbA1c tests and individualized treatments. So you can contact us for your how to reverse this insulin resistance. You can get in touch with us. We'll tell you so many lifestyle changes. So prevention and management of complications will be easy in that case, and even lifestyle advices will be giving you, and you will get a lot of education on diabetes also. So we work on this philosophy called GFC philosophy. In GFC philosophy, we work on 4 pillars, that is food and nutrition, workouts, and stress management, sleep management, and even two more pillars like social well-being and spiritual well-being. Once we work on these lifestyle changes, you will be able to easily reverse this insulin resistance. And if you ask me testimonies, um, we have done so many, we have transformed so many people from pre-diabetes to normal and diabetes to normal. We have reversed them, and they have gotten rid of this insulin. They have come out of the insulin, and they were able to have only 500 mg of metformin, or even not even 500 mg of metformin. They were easily able to overcome these challenges. So once you are able to handle this in pre-diabetic stage, or even before getting into diabetic stage, even it becomes more easier for you to get rid of all these complications. So see, nowadays diabetes has become like this. In every home there is a motorbike, right? Like there is a scooty or there is a car. So in every home like that, there is a person who has this diabetes. So once you have this awareness, you need not to end up taking lifelong medicines. You can cure it with your lifestyle changes. So thank you for listening with a lot of patience. Here we end this session.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. If you have any questions, you can start unmuting yourself. I have given the permission to unmute. You can switch on your videos, or you can change. You can share even your feedback. Lalita, Ritti, any of you have any questions, or you want to say how the session is? You can switch on your video.
Thank you so much, Coach Naga and Sirisha. It is really a very insightful session, and बहुत सारे चीज सीखने को मिला. एंड द वे इट्स नॉट ओनली लाइक कि कैसे होता है, इट्स लाइक कि हाउ वी कैन क्योर एंड हाउ कैन गेट rid of it with the right set of process. So thank you so much.
Yeah, thank
Thank
you,
you.
Sweta. Reti, you have any questions? You can unmute yourself.
She mentioned in the meeting.
All right, right. Lalita, you have any questions? All right.
Thank you, Reddy. Thank you, Sudipta.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Nice to have a session with all of you. Have a great day ahead. Bye, everyone. See you in the next session.
You. Bye.
Thank you so much. Bye bye.